everybody, it is Thursday, and so today we are going to be cooking with Chef Chelsea. We're going to be cooking with the Deltas, so follow me.
Hi everyone, I'm Chef Chelsea Wooten of Dash Catering and member of the glorious Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And we are here today to do a little cooking session for you all. The theme, Welcome to Haiti. So we're gonna get started with some of the basic staple foods of Haitian cuisine. We're gonna do rice and peas, which is diri ak pois. We're going to do the fried plantains, and we're also going to have chicken stew, which is poulet creole. We are going to begin with épices. Now, épices is a seasoning blend primarily made of green seasoning. So we have green onions or scallions. We have parsley, so just make sure to get at least a bunch of fresh parsley. One onion, this is a yellow onion. There's also a Scotch bonnet pepper. Now, if you are not able to find a Scotch bonnet pepper in the store, a replacement is a habanero pepper. Think of them as cousins. They look very similar. Most of the time, they're gonna vary from orange to red. Some have a little green pigment in them, but these are hot, so just be careful as far as the amount that you use. Generally, for the épices recipe, you'll want to use between 1 and 2 peppers, depending on the level of spiciness you like. In order to begin, what you're gonna want to do is get your bunch of parsley, and it is a little tedious, but you're gonna want to take each parsley stem, because you don't want the stems in this. You're gonna take all the leaves off and put them in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can use a blender. And then you're gonna go ahead and cut your green onions. Now the green onion, you'll use about 2 or 3 of them, and you're gonna cut them and put them in the food processor. So now we've got some red peppers, and we've also got some green peppers. So we're gonna take a few. Now for the original recipe, you're gonna need 1/3 of a cup of each. So you're just gonna take it and chop it up as well. Put that in there. And we've also got the thyme. Now with the thyme, you're gonna do something similar like you did with the parsley. So instead, you see here, so you got the thyme. So you don't want the stems. You take your 2 fingers, or you can take your pointer, whichever one works better. And you kind of grip the thyme. It may not work because of the gloves. Here we go. And it should strip the thyme. Okay, so next we're gonna add garlic. So now the recipe calls for 14 cloves of garlic. So that's what you're gonna do. Put 14 cloves of garlic in there. And you're also going to add salt, a teaspoon of salt. So you're gonna wanna put 4 cloves in here. If you are not able to find whole cloves in the store, you can use ground clove. Here's the clip. If you are not able to find ground clove in the store, you can also use cinnamon. If you use cinnamon, I also recommend, again, just using a little less than you normally would if you use like a whole cinnamon stick. But we're gonna go ahead and put 4 cloves in there. This is what they look like. They're pretty small, but they do add a lot of flavor. And we've got about 1/3 of a cup of oil. Okay. And we've also got 3 teaspoons of vinegar. So I'm gonna eyeball it. You're gonna want to try and puree it. Let's see. So if your food processor has that option, fine. If not, you can just chop it to the right consistency that you need. But again, you're looking for a paste. Got that set. It's kind of gonna look like a paste like this. So moving over here, I kind of have some already pre-made, but it's going to definitely be very fragrant. Have a lot of onions, garlic, and this is going to be the basis for a lot of your marinades, for your stews, anything like that. This is what they're going to use to season the meat. You can use this on vegetables, anything you really like. It's honestly just a very good marinade. Go ahead and get everything else started. So we're going to start with the rice and beans, the Dairy Aqua. You can get jasmine rice. Of course, if you're not able to find jasmine rice, you can use regular rice, but jasmine rice is preferred. Any type of long grain rice, it could be basmati, anything like that. And for the beans, there are the kidney beans. So if you want to go the easy route, they are dark kidney beans. You can get them canned. It's a lot quicker. You don't have to worry about the cooking process. If you do get the dry beans though, you will have to cook them for about an hour and 20 minutes, maybe an hour and a half. You're going to want to soak them the night before. And then you're going to want to use the épice. The épice is another good seasoning for the beans. So you can go ahead, if you're going to make the beans from the dry beans, you're going to put the épice in there. You're going to boil the beans. You can put a little water. You can put a little chicken cube if you like. Boil them up, and then that'll give them some flavor before you go ahead and put them in the rice. So if you're going to make the rice on the stove, you can go ahead once you go ahead and make the beans, add a little more water, and then you're going to put the rice in, stir it around, and make it in the pot. But you can also make it in the Instant Pot. I know a lot of people have them right now, or a rice cooker. It's up to you. So the easy way though, we're going to use canned beans today. Okay, so now we're going to get started with the chicken poulet creole. So we've got our chicken here that's been sitting in the marinade for a while. So we're going to go ahead and start browning that. You're going to want to brown that for about 10 minutes and then set the chicken aside so you can get your vegetables in there. For your vegetables, you're going to have onions, green peppers, and you're also going to have red peppers. So I'm going to go ahead and put the chicken in there now, get that started. And then you're going to want to put a little bit of oil. You can use olive oil, vegetable oil, whatever you have on hand. And go ahead. You're going to want to save your marinade because you're going to put the marinade back into the stew. You know, while you're waiting for your chicken to brown, you can get ready for the fried plantains. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get ready to fry our plantains. So I've got some in my hand here. Once the grease is hot, you're just going to want to put them in there. So you're going to want to fry them until they get a little golden brown. And then you're actually going to fry them twice. So once you fry them the first time, you're going to put them on a paper towel, dry them off. And you're going to want to get some warm water. You're going to want to get about a tablespoon of salt. mix it together. Put the plantains in there so they soak up a little of that. Dry them off again, and then you're gonna refry them. Once you refry them, you're just gonna dry them off and put a little salt, and you're done. So now you're gonna put your marinade in there along. I put a cup of water in here. So you're gonna put this back in the pot. All right, and that's gonna add to your seasoning. Keep checking your fried plantains. You can kind of turn them, see how they're cooking. Make sure to keep a watch on them. Sometimes they burn a little quickly, but just keep your heat, I'd say, on a medium high, and you'll be okay. Just flipping them over. You can see they're starting to get a little brown. Got the water in the pot for the chicken stew. We're gonna let the bottom kind of deglaze with all those seasonings and everything from the chicken. And we're also going to add our peppers and our onions to that. So go ahead, add that to the pot, and then you're gonna let that cook until it softens. Once that softens, you're gonna add the chicken back into the pot, put some tomato paste, stir it around a little bit, and you're gonna let it simmer for about 25 minutes and it'll be done. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna add the tomato paste. About 2 tablespoons. And stirring that, mixing it around with everything in the pot. Alright, some cases you'll have to add more water. So go ahead and do so if need be. Got that going. Now we're going to add the chicken back into the pot and just let it simmer for about 20 to 25 minutes until it's done. Now that we fry them once, the difference with Haitian plantains is that they smash them. So, alright, so in order to smash the plantains, normally, people would have a plantain smasher, but I don't have that yet. So I'm just going to take a bowl. You can take a glass bowl, you can take a wooden bowl, anything that just applies a lot of pressure. You're going to want to smash each plantain. So, for instance, you have this plantain here, put it on parchment paper, but you can use whatever you like. And then I have another piece of parchment paper just for another barrier. So what I do is I take the bowl, put it on top of the plantain, put my pressure in the middle of the bowl. Twist. And now it's smashed. So you're going to want to do that for all of them. And after you do that, you're going to want to soak them in, again, the saltwater solution. After you soak them in the saltwater solution, you're going to want to dry them off again and refry them. So we're going to go ahead and do that. A minute or so. Okay, minute over. So what we're going to do now, I'll put them. go ahead and dry them off. Dry them off as much as you can. Pat them dry. And then you're gonna get ready to refry them.